As I say, I'm really proud of our team. Buffalo is an outstanding team. They're 4-0 for a reason, but I'm really proud of our guys. I'll be happy to answer any questions I can.
Hey, Jon, turnovers and penalties have been an issue for you guys the last 2 weeks. You were pretty good in both of those areas to start the season. What's been the issue in the last 2 games, and how do you fix that moving forward?
Well, you saw the game. I mean, we got to get turnovers from our defense. That's a big story here also. We're not getting any turnovers. I think we've got one the whole season, maybe two. Guy made a great play on Waller. We're playing shorthanded up front, obvious passing situation, and Derek got stripped. Credit Buffalo. They got a good defense. But the penalties, I'm going to take a look at them. You can take a look at them yourself and see if some of those were, ones you agree on or disagree on. I disagree with a few of them, but I'm a Raider.
Jon, obviously you're down people on offense. What does that do to your calling? Would you like to be more aggressive in the fourth, or did they just not allow that?
Well, if you're watching Buffalo play, they got a 2-score lead. They're not going to give you chunk plays. We don't have a lot of time to stand back there and survey the defense, but I give our guys credit. We scored 23 points today. We had 4 points called back on a alignment error that we've been in that formation 1,000 times. We played pretty good at times on offense with our fourth different right tackle, our third different left guard, and a number of new receivers. So we'll take a look at the film, but we tried to stay aggressive. We made some plays down the field. One of them was called back, obviously, it hurt us.
How do you kind of make sure that this doesn't grow into anything bigger? Two-game losing streak after a good start.
We're not going to get into all this. We got a good young team. We're playing a lot of people. I'm really proud of our first quarter. Anybody's played a tougher schedule than us, tell me who it has. We played Monday night against the Saints, across the country on a short week against the Patriots, and the Buffalo Bills are undefeated in a playoff team. And we're not going to get any sympathy next week either going to Arrowhead. So this is a great opportunity for us to continue to get better and look at our young players, and I'm proud of them. We've been in all these games, and we've won 2 and lost 2, and the first quarter's in the books.
Jon, what was your biggest issue in coverage against Diggs today?
Number one, he's a great player, and you watch Buffalo's offense, they do a lot. You don't know exactly where Diggs is. And he's not the only weapon that Buffalo has. John Brown is a big play receiver. The quarterback can complete passes left-handed. The guy's a beast standing back there. Singleton, he's a good runner. They got a pretty good attack. And Diggs can make plays in the slot. He can make plays outside. He can make plays in motion. And he's proven he's one of the elite receivers in football, and we struggled at times.
Coach, how much thought, if any, went into going for those fourth and shorts when you picked the Wilson for
pass? We got stuffed on a couple short yardage runs, which was very disappointed. Twice we got rejected. Ingold once and Jacobs once. You kick yourself. But we were in that football game. And I think we only punted one time. So we knew we were going to get the ball back. We knew we could move it. And unfortunately, we didn't score enough.
Hey, Jon, your turnover differential in the fourth quarter is -4. 3 of those are fumbles by the quarterback, Derek. How tough does that make it to win when that's happening in the fourth quarter? And then also, why was Paul Gunther, the defensive coordinator, up in the press box rather than down on the sidelines like usual?
Well, that's a loaded question. First of all, the fumbles, when you're in an obvious passing situation and you're throwing the ball and they know you're throwing the ball, you're going to get every coverage and every stunt and every look known to man. And the great pass rushers, they salivate in those situations. So, the situation has a lot to do with it. We're very predictable and one-dimensional in those times, but we still got to clean it up. We're playing a lot of different linemen. There's a lot of things that have gone into that problem. And Paul Gunther went up in the field so he could see better. We're playing a lot of new players, and I think it worked out pretty good. I think his communication was good with the middle linebacker from the box, and I think he was good communicating with the staff as well.
Jon, it seemed like for the first time this season, we were really unable to get their run really established and get Josh Jacobs going. What would you attribute that to, and how much do you think it went into the result of the game?
Well, they're a good defensive team. I'll just leave it at that. They were a very good rushing defense. They gave up some yards last week. They probably got ticked off. They probably have a lot of pride over there. Matter of fact, I know they do. They probably revved up their run defense. They probably said, hey, let's make the Raiders prove that these backup receivers and some of these backup linemen can do some of the things that we want them to do. But I think a lot of it had to do with that. They loaded the box. They came with some timely blitzes, and we still had some good runs at times.
Okay, last question, Hondo.
Hondo Carpenter, I understand you just lost, but Derek, again, through 4 games, no interceptions, throws for over 300 yards, and breaks Kenny Stabler's record as the all-time Raider quarterback for touchdown passes. I apologize after a loss asking this, but can you just talk about Derek's performance, please?
You know, it's never good enough when you lose. He knows that. I know that. Statistics are great. He's done a heck of a job for this football team. All we've been through with the virus and not having any off-season program and trying to break in 2 rookie receivers and then losing 2 rookie receivers and not having Trent and Richie, and it's been tough on them. We played a great schedule, but I wouldn't question one thing about Derek Carr. He is giving you everything he's got, and he's performing pretty darn good. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Coach. Guys, any questions? Go ahead, Jerry.
Jason, you look at this game as one that just kind of got away because of opportunities that you had where you didn't capitalize?
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, when you play against good teams, right, your margin is really tight. And, you know, the last couple of weeks, that's been the case. You know, I mean, we knew this Buffalo team was going to be tough to beat, you know, and it sounds cliche, but you can't turn the ball over. You can't have penalties. You can't not start fast and start slow like that and expect to come back and beat teams like Buffalo. Playoff caliber team, and they try to control the time of possession, make a lot of plays. So I give them a lot of credit. But, you know, I like this team. I like our football team. You know, I know I'm new here, but played a lot of football. I like our approach. We got a lot of things we can clean up, but spirit's right. You know, after 4 weeks, we're 2-2. We got to improve, but I think we've seen that formula. When we protect the ball, we control, be able to kind of dictate our pace, we have success. And you know, last 2 weeks, kind of uncharacteristically, turnovers have cost us in the slow start. Can't win that way.
Jason, you mentioned the turnovers, the penalties. They seem to come in key situations. You've been around a long time. Are these things correctable, or how difficult is it to correct them?
Well, you have to. You know, it's a show-me game. You know, and it's you got to make those corrections. And you know, the effort's there. You know, this is a young team that works hard, and the spirit's right. A new city, all that's great. But you know, when you go out there and play, it's that fine line of execution. You know, and so there's a lot of things to get fixed and get corrected. And you just have to, just the sense of urgency that you have in those moments. We've all had them and throughout our careers. It's just, you know, the good teams, they find ways not to make them, and especially at crunch time. And I think that cost us early on.
Jason, there's certainly no shame in losing to an undefeated playoff team, but you were brought in here specifically for leadership. You've seen a lot of seasons start slow and end in good ways. What do you say as a leader to so many young players?
Well, you know, first off, you learn when you're in moments like this, and you go through these games of going on the road to New England and then coming back and playing a playoff caliber team. And I think it says a lot about your football team. And, you know, I think when you look at it and say, okay, we're through the first quarter, right, and you saw glimpses of a really good football team and kind of an identity of what you hope it would be and what it looked like, and Coach Gruden and his coaching staff, kind of their vision. And then you've seen some times where it slipped up and it hasn't looked that way. And so I just echo that message. Look, you understand what we're trying to do. We know what we're trying to do throughout the week. We feel like we have the right type of guys that can go do it. And I just remind that of, hey, look, this is what these games come down to. You look at the New England game, you go score right there before the half, you feel like you got a ball game, come up short. You know, and now this game, same thing. Score before the half, you feel like you got some momentum, and then you come out in the second half. You can't allow good teams to hang around, whether you have costly mistakes on your side or whether they make plays. So I just remind those guys that, the secret of winning and sustaining that, it's a long season. Understand, what the coaching staff want and build on the good and get healthy, get some of those guys back out there. But just the character, I've, as a veteran player coming into a new team and seeing the coaching staff and the spirit and the leadership, I mean, I really like where we're at. I know we all would rather have a different record than 2-2 right now, but it's a long season. You got to get it corrected, and you can't make excuses for that. You got to be able to look yourself in the mirror and be critical of that and find ways to improve down the stretch here. So hopefully we can get healthy and get some of those guys back. I think that's the message.
Hey, Jason, this is Vic. You guys have moved the ball well at the end of the first half. Is it hard to channel that to other times of the game, or can that be a building block for this offense?
I think you'd hope for it to be a building block. I mean, I think at key times there before the half, there's been big possessions and big drives. I think sustainability, consistency, that's what you're trying to do. It felt like the running game, we were kind of in control there. We were getting some good runs, and then just have a couple that you came up short on. So, like I said, we know what that formula is. You just got to have more consistency of play throughout the game. But, turnovers have really hurt us too. So I like this football team. I think offensively there's a lot that you can learn from. Guys have stepped up with injuries, and hopefully we can get some of those guys healthy back out there and go compete down the stretch.
Thank you, everyone.
I appreciate it, guys.
Raise your hand for questions. Go ahead, Jerry.
Hey, Derek. A lot of completions and a lot of offense. But I'm wondering if there's a one play to Moreau. Moreau got called for the penalty. You lost 4 points on the misalignment. You hit Aguilar. There was another play in the third quarter where you had Zay Jones, and it looked like it was potentially a big play. Are those downfield strikes the ones you just can't miss against a team like Buffalo?
Yeah, absolutely. Going back to last year, they don't give up a lot of big plays. I think one thing that Coach has done a great job of is a lot of these teams. He spent a lot of time that try and take that stuff away. Still finding a way to get a shot. You know what I'm saying? And it's been awesome. The one to Zay, I mean, it's fingertips. It's that close. And then the one to Nelly, obviously we hit, and we've run that formation 1,000 times. I looked over to my right, looked to my left. I always check for stuff, and nothing looked different. So it's just one of them things. It's a judgment. It's a judgment call. What the ref sees. But I'm not complaining about it. Whatever. It's over with. But I'm excited that we're finding ways. We hit Hunter up the sideline, finding ways to hit those shots. Threw another one to Nelly deep, got a PI, and we had another one to Waller when they hit the ball out of my hand. That was about to be a touchdown to Darren. Or a big play at least. So I'm excited about that kind of stuff. But it's those plays right there that you got to hit. Everything has to go right against that defense.
Derek, LeviAndersonRaiders.com. I know as a competitor, it's hard to find a lot of positives in a loss. However, today you became the Raiders' all-time leader in passing touchdowns. Can you just describe what that feeling is like, and is this something that you've dreamed of since you were a little child?
Yeah, honestly, the first time I thought about it was like in a long time was driving to the stadium or driving to the facility yesterday. I was like, oh dang, like I can't, you get so much in groundhog mode, where you're just playing football, you're doing your process. You're like, dang it. I took a moment and just thought about, the snake, and his greatness. He's the best, man. I just tip my hat to his family. They've been so gracious to me, so loving to me. I wish I could have met him. I wish I could have talked to him. Wish I could have learned from him. I didn't have that opportunity, obviously, and I'm thankful. I can't take it away. I'm thankful. I'm not going to sit up here and be depressed about something that is a good thing. But at the same time, if we could have won, then it feels better. I'm sick of losing, Levi. I'm sick of working as hard as I do and as we do, and going out there and losing. I mean, it sucks. Enough is enough, you know. I think that's my message. You know, I'm excited, you know, obviously for that. I dreamed of it when I got drafted here. I looked all those stats up and was like, man, I want to break all these, you know, as a competitor. But I'm sick of losing. Like, enough's enough. I'm tired of it.
Does it make it a little more encouraging or frustrating that you guys are in these games and it's really a play here or a play there, or maybe a mistake here or a mistake there, that if you guys can correct and they are correctable, these are different outcomes?
Yeah, I think, again, Coach telling us to, you know, look at it positively. You know, we are in all these games. We have moved the ball up and down the field in these first 4 games, you know, and, you know, if, you know, you're blind if you don't think that, you know, but what's killing us is ourselves. And so, you know, for whatever reason, it doesn't matter. We're just killing ourselves. And that's the frustrating part, that the things that are hurting us in these close games is not them, it's us. And that's the hard part to swallow, because, you know, you work so hard in practice, you wake up early, try and outwork everybody and give this organization everything you got, and then it's like one thing here and there, it's like, dang, you know. So it's encouraging for what it is, but at the same time, you go home and you're hot, you know. I got to take a deep breath, you know, before I go in my house, so I don't take it out on my wife and my kids, because it means so much to me. But like I told Levi, I said, enough's enough, man. You know, we got to correct this right now.
Was that Gruden's message after the game, stay positive?
Yeah, absolutely. He's always like that now. Now, he tells us the truth and things like that, but he always tells us, keep your heads up and stay positive, because, you know, he's a Super Bowl winning coach, and he tells us, like, hey, look, we're doing the things right. We just got to stop shooting ourselves in the foot, you know. We know what we can do. We move the ball. At times we stop them, you know, when we need to stop them and things like that. That's just what he says to us. And you look at that and you're like, yeah, absolutely, you know. And so you see the positivity in it. I think, Vic, me being here, you know, my seventh year, like I've seen too much crap, you know. I've seen a whole bunch of crap, you know, if I'm just being honest with you. And that's the frustrating part for me. And so is it going to take my positivity and my joy away? Absolutely not. I'm going to be me regardless. But is it okay for me to be a little hot, a little pissed sometimes? Yeah. And this is one of them moments.
This is Hondo Carpenter. I'm curious, as a captain of this team, when you've addressed self-inflicted wounds, what is the fine line between putting a boot in a guy's can and getting on him for self-inflicted wounds?
Yeah.
Or understanding they're a young guy and you got to let him come along with the process? I'm curious how you just manage that, sir.
Yeah, Hondo, that's a great question. There's a time and a place. You know, if it's a guy that consistently does something, like at practice, weight room, walkthrough, then you jump him. Like, it's unacceptable. You know what I'm saying? If it's a guy that does everything right, you know, you look at a guy like Darren Waller. The man does everything right, everything, from the meetings, from knowing every position on the field, from blocking, in the run and pass game, catching the ball, being our target. And then he has a play where, like, you're like, hey, you know, you're not going to go over there and jump the guy. You know what I'm saying? He does everything right. He knows, and we all hold each other accountable now. We'll tell each other the truth, you know. I'll be the first one to my teammates. I don't really care to say it in other places, but they know our group is very accountable. And so I guess it's that fine line of, you know, if this guy does everything right, then it's not okay, but you go to him and be like, hey, let's go. You know, now if it's someone that doesn't, and then it's a time where you're like, hey, you know, tighten up a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you, everyone. Okay, guys, raise your hand for questions for Josh Jacobs, please.
Hi, Josh. Levi Damian from USA Today. It seemed like the Raiders weren't able to really establish the run today. Weren't able to have some of the days you had pretty much the rest of the season leading into it. What do you think that was? What would you attribute that to, and how much do you think that affected the outcome?
I mean, I guess it's just a credit to their defense. They was flying and all the gaps, shooting the holes real early. They made our line have to react fast. We had a few injuries, but it's just a credit to their defense.
Go ahead, Jerry.
Yeah, Josh. I mean, after the a 2-0 start, to see so many of your teammates kind of fall by the wayside injured, then have these little opportunities slip away in 2 straight games. How would you assess the bounce back capabilities you guys have?
I mean, I think that's a testament to our team and to the group of guys that we have. We have a lot of injuries right now. We have a lot of guys nicked up, but each player is stepping up and they're playing big time plays and they're trying to get our best and get our all without having that much experience. So I mean, it's just a testament to the guys.
Josh, 4 games into the season, how is your body feeling? How are you holding up?
Today my body was pretty good. I came out with a couple of cuts, but my body was pretty good.
Josh Levos with LevoRaiders.com. Of course, Derek Carr just came up before you and just said that, of course, it sucks to lose and that enough is enough. And what is your feelings after this loss, and what do you personally feel like you have to do in order to rejuvenate your spirits?
Get better Monday through Saturday. Come in just willing to work. I mean, I feel like we work now, but clearly it's not enough. So trying to find out how to take that next step, how to become better, do the little things better. But this team, man, is different from last year, and I was proud of the guys because we fought to the end. So, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, they get all my respect for that.
Hey, Josh, when you guys are looking for reasons for why things are going, as Derek said, that he's tired of this crap, he's pissed off and things like that, how important is it then for you guys to look in the mirror as well going forward?
Of course. I mean, I feel like I can speak for Derek as well. I feel like we are our biggest critics. Every day we try to come in and work on the little things. It's the little things in this game that makes the biggest difference. And we just try to come in and do that every day. And, I mean, that's the thing that I do first. But I don't never really like to talk down on another player. I just try to inspire the players. And I feel like that's my job as a running back, to inspire the team. And I try to come out and do that each week.
Josh Jacobs, Mookie Hawkins, Buffalo Sports 1080, Buffalo. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good.
Now, just care to talk about, I mean, you get the opportunity to witness Josh Allen. And, it's a lot of things that's been buzzing about, but from your point of view, what have you noticed about Josh Allen this season?
Me and Josh Allen been to each other. We kind of exchanged numbers like my rookie year and things like that. And I always thought he was a dog. And just to see how he was getting hit a lot this game and he just getting up and shake back, I mean, I guess that's just a testament to him. I think he's a great young player.
Last one.
Yes. Good afternoon, Josh. George Radley, Challenger Community News, Buffalo, New York. How you doing this afternoon?
I'm doing good.
Was there anything the Bills defense showed you that on film, was it different from what you saw on film, the tendencies of the Bills defense?
No, they actually did exactly what we thought they was gonna do on film. Honestly, but the thing is, they're so fundamental. Everything that each player doesn't try to go out of his role. They execute. If a linebacker is supposed to be in the A gap, he's in the A gap. He's where he needs to be. And for a runner, that's the hardest defenses to play because it's hard to make the defenses make mistakes. So they were very disciplined. I mean, that's just a credit to them.
Thank you, everyone. Go ahead, Jerry.
the game went a lot like it did last week, where you had the play touchdown before the half, and you feel real good, and then it come out and it just doesn't go your way. How would you assess the way the second half went?
I felt like the second half we were moving the ball down the field. I feel like my fumble was pivotal just because, we're going down the field and we're about to take the lead. Like, we're marching down the field pretty strongly. And I feel like my fumble was a turning point. Then you see Stephon Diggs had that big play, like the next play after. So that was just like a huge swing right there. So I feel like right there was when it kind of started to get out of our control.
Any more questions, guys?
Darren Waller, Mookie Hawkins, Waffle Sports 1080. How you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good. How you doing?
I'm good, man. Last time me and you met, we was down at the Super Bowl. Just
Oh, yeah.
up. But just care to talk about, just how tough it is for you to, get the continuity with no OTAs, no preseason, and to deal with injuries. How tough is it for you guys to go into battle with a tough Bills team like that?
It's tough. It's tough for everybody in the league, really. You really lose that time where you can build your foundation in the spring. That's really an important time to, get all the timing, get the continuity, like you said. So it's really tough on everybody. Everybody's kind of, getting used to it at different speeds. There were times today, with our ball security and things of that nature. There are some things that, of course, we need to clean up, but we're not going to make the excuse of the lack of offseason, even though it's there and we could cling to it and we could be rightfully so in doing that. We're not going to do that. We're going to play football and hold ourselves to a high standard.
Hi, Darren. Obviously, the fumble aside, you had a pretty big day. Your catches went right back up to 9 on 12 targets. Was your ability to really get back in the offense more something the Raiders did in their game plan, or was it something more that the Bills didn't do that the Patriots did do? Which side would you say was more responsible for that?
I would say it's a little bit of both. The Patriots, the Belichick line of defensive coaches, they like to take away the number one targeted person and make that a focus. Whereas the Bills, they are confident in what they do and they just line up and play how they play, and they're not really into double teaming. They're not really into, focusing in on one guy. They're just going to line up and play what they play, and they have a lot of confidence in the guys that do it. So it was just getting a lot of, good, one-on-one matchups or, finding spots and zones that weren't necessarily available last week. But, yeah, I feel like I was involved, and, my involvement may change from week to week, and I'm okay with that because we got guys that can ball.
Thank you, everyone. All right, guys, questions for Nick? Go ahead, Jerry.
Yeah, Nick, after playing up just the 22 snaps in the first two games, then watching the next three, was it hard not to think, all right, I'm going to go out there and solve all our problems today, or how did you approach it?
To start off, I hate missing games. You want to be out there no matter win or lose. You want to be out there with your team. So today, just coming in, I was just happy to be back and, just trying to get back business as usual.
Nick, Mookie Hawkins, Waffle Sports 1080, Buffalo. How you doing, man?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Just care to talk about, the evolution. How well did Josh Allen play? Is it more hype or is it, more real thing that you had the chance to lock horns when him out there?
He's definitely a good quarterback. Watching him on film the past couple of days, and seeing him live in action. Just for this game, I have to go back, watch the film. You never really know what happens until you go back and watch the film. But he's definitely a good quarterback, and I see him doing big things in this league.
George Red, the Challenger Community News, Buffalo, New York. But add on to that question from Mookie. Were you guys trying to keep him in the pocket, or were you looking to get him to run? Was that some of the game plans today?
It's definitely a focus. Keeping quarterbacks that can run in the pocket. Anytime a quarterback gets out, starts scrambling, any quarterback with the ability to extend plays, you want to keep him in that pocket and get sacks. So that's definitely, today and moving forward. I mean, you want to keep guys that can run in the pocket.
I think for the first time today, I guess Coach Gunther moved up into the press box, and Gruden said it was to enhance communication and being able to be talking with you. How do you feel everything went?
I thought it went good. There was no mishaps. There was, great communication. I can't speak in the last two games, but, we kind of left off, where I was at in Carolina a couple weeks ago. Calls were coming in, and there was no problems.
Hey, Nick, they seem to utilize a lot of crossing routes against you guys today. What did you kind of see from them in that area specifically?
I have to go back and watch the film. They did a lot of play action, getting the linebackers to bite and kind of running across behind us. So I really can't speak. I have to go back and watch that film.
Thank you, everyone.